feel like Princess Unicorn. My horn can pierce the sky. Hello and welcome to today's video. If this is your first time here, you may not know this, but I am giving away a $250 Sephora gift card this month. So be sure to enter that giveaway. It's so easy. You just hit the subscribe button and then go down to the description bar and hit the Rafflecopter link. It takes like 30 seconds. It's really that easy. Today we're going to be doing a get ready with me, but I have a couple goals in mind. Number one, I'm going to try some new products. I've got this Ilia foundation that I've been wanting to try that I picked up during the VIB sale. I've got the Fenty creams. I've got a couple lip products that are new. So I'm going to be trying out some new things, and also I really want to get a kind of lavender monochrome moment going on. I have talked about my love for a coral monochrome moment before, and today I want to do lavender, lilac, you know, just that soft kind of purple vibe. So let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and clip my hair back and we're gonna start. If this is the first get ready with me of mine that you have watched, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know I don't discuss every product usually unless I'm doing like a full face of first impressions, and today I'm not. So usually I just kind of skip over things that I've talked about before unless I have like a really interesting update I wanna give. But I do list everything down on the screen as you have just seen. And I also am always sure to put like a little image up here in this corner so that you can see what it is that I am using. I do want to talk about this Banana Bright primer from Ole Henriksen. When I first tried this, I tried it out with the what was it called? The Westman Atelier Vital Skin Foundation Stick. And what I have found is I don't like that combo together. I like both products separately, but there's something about them that I just don't feel jives well. So I've been trying to try this with some other foundations. I really like it with my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and today I'm going to be trying it with this Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. This foundation is something I've been wanting to try for a while. I really am on the hunt for a good clean foundation. Today I am going to be using it. I pumped it onto this little heart palette that I use, and I'm going to pick it up with a beauty blender and apply it that way because that is how I like to use my Luminous Silk. And when I'm doing a first impression of a liquid foundation, I found that, you know, starting out with the method that I'm most comfortable with is usually my best bet. So I'm putting this on right now, and I'm going to tell you one thing that I've noticed, and I want to give you kind of a warning. I have noticed lately that for some reason the Sephora foundation matcher, the little shades EQ thing they have, has been matching me to cool foundations. I do not know why it's been doing that, because the reference shade that it has is my Luminous Silk, which I wear shade 5. That is a neutral undertone foundation. For some reason though, Sephora has been suggesting to me shades that I've noticed are just a touch cool. And if you've watched any of my other videos where I've mentioned it, I have very neutral undertones. I don't pull very pink, I don't pull very yellow, and I really need a foundation that speaks to that. Like anything that has a touch of pink in it, just I don't really enjoy. And I'm noticing right now that this does have a slight tinge of pink. I don't know if this is meant to be a neutral shade. I thought it was. I got the shade TEXEL, excuse me. But I'm just noticing that when it's first going on, it seems to be pulling just a touch on that rosy side, which is not something I love, but we're gonna keep with it. Once it's on, I'm good with the shade. I'm noticing that Sephora has been doing that to me lately, and I have not been getting the Sephora suggested shades. I did with this one because I hadn't noticed it yet when it did it, but last night I was looking because I wanted to try a Guerlain foundation, and I noticed that the shade that Sephora suggested literally was like 2C. And so when I saw the C, I said, oh my gosh, it's suggesting to me cool tone foundations. What is going on? And so I went to Findation.com. I've talked about that site before. This is not sponsored, obviously. I have used that site so many times, and it usually gives me the best matches. I went to Findation and it gave me a completely different suggested shade, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I don't know what's going on with Sephora, but for some reason they have kind of been a little off on what they're suggesting. This one's not too bad. I think this may, I don't know if this qualifies to Ilia as a neutral shade or not, but this is not, it's not too cool. I just noticed that it has a little bit of that kind of bisque like tint to it, and that's normally not really great on my skin, but it looks pretty good. This is a pretty good shade match. And I'm gonna be honest, I know I've just been going at length about my foundation matches, but I'm really liking the way this applies. It feels so similar to my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and I'll be honest, that is the bar that I set for other foundations, because the way that that foundation applies, the way that it wears, the way that it, you know, just kind of melds. I love that word. I use it all the time, but the way that it melds into my skin really is the bar for me. So I do compare to that foundation a lot because I really love that foundation. And, you know, I think for me, if I have something that I love and that really works, I'm always looking to find better, or at least something that matches it, because, you know, when you know what works for your skin, I don't think there's a reason to try to, you know, reinvent the wheel. But in this case, what I'm looking for is a clean foundation. I've been trying to incorporate more clean products, and so I'm looking for something, you know, is there something out there that's going to give me, you know, hit all the marks, check all the boxes, and be clean. So I really do feel like this so far has applied the way that my Luminous Silk does. I feel like it's got the natural radiant finish, and the way that it applied doesn't feel like it soaked too much into the sponge, didn't just, you know, sink right into my pores. It feels very similar, which is why I picked it up, because it had that natural radiant finish that it talked about, and it was a medium coverage. So those are similar descriptors that are used for the Armani Luminous Silk as well. So I am self-tanned right now, and the shade, I mean, it really is matching pretty perfectly. So I mean, I did notice that little pink, but I think it is working really well. I'm going to keep wearing that foundation and try to get a kind of full review on that one. And then I have tried a couple foundations in first impressions videos over the last 2 months. So I want to get you guys a speed video, a speed reviews video next week. So that will be forthcoming. I'm going to get that hopefully filmed at the end of this week and then up next week, so that you guys can just get my final thoughts on, you know, all the products that I have tried over the last 2 months in my first impressions videos. Today I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I haven't used this in a while. This has been a long time holy grail. I have been loving the Kosas Radiant Creamy Concealer, but I have found that, or is it Radiant Creamy? It's, I don't know. I think I made that up. I don't think that's the name of it. It's something. It's Kosas Creamy Revealer Cream. I don't know. It's a long name. I have been loving that concealer, but I have been noticing that I think I have a shade that's a little bit off. I love the consistency of it, but there's something about the shade that I'm noticing I don't particularly love, and it's the weirdest thing. I didn't notice it until I heard someone else on YouTube mentioned that the shades were pulling a little too yellow for them. And then once they mentioned it, I started to notice it. So I think it's a little bit psychological, but I'm just taking a little bitty break from that concealer this week because I want to just take a break, get some distance, and then try it again and see, is it that I need to kind of change the shade, or what's going on? Was it just something that got put in my head because someone else mentioned it? So that's why I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer today, and, you know, just reminded of why I love it, because it's so beautiful and just applies like a dream. So it's like an all-time favorite product. I think I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye next. It's kind of where I'm feeling. This is my first video in a couple weeks. You know, normally I'm really consistent and upload every week, but I just had kind of a really hard week leading up to and following Mother's Day. It was just really hard for me. If you don't know, my family lives in North Carolina and I live in Delaware with my husband and our daughter. And so being away from my mom on my first Mother's Day was really, really difficult. It just felt kind of sad, to be honest. And I just was not in the best state emotionally. I was having several days that I just really felt down, and really what would happen is I would just keep myself super busy during the day with work and then cooking and baking and cleaning and just kind of going nuts with that. And then at night when I would kind of sit down and not have anything else to do, I would kind of just lose it. Like, I don't know. It was just kind of just not the best week for me. And I'm sure everyone has kind of had moments like that during this whole quarantine situation. So I know I'm not alone. I will say that I got so many sweet DMs from several of you that just like really made my day. The giveaway winner from last month, Jennifer, which I called her Jessica initially, and I don't know why. I think I had Jessica Brown on the brain when I put out the when I made the first description announcing the winner. But she sent me an email showing me her goodies that had come in from Sephora, and that just, oh my gosh, made my day. And you guys, I totally just put on the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick when I meant to try the Fenty bronzer. So, okay, that happened. My bad. We'll try it on the forehead. That's hilarious. I can't believe I did that. I'm just going to blend this out. I didn't initially love this Face Trace contour stick, but I've really been liking it. Like, I don't know. I think maybe my initial like way that I tried to apply it wasn't the best. I had seen on Gucci Westman's site somewhere, I think, where she had applied it using a brush. She took a brush, did this, and then went on. And that application method just didn't really work for me. So I've been trying it out a lot more, and I actually really like it now. All right, now I'm going to try this Fenty Beauty bronzer that I meant to try initially that I completely just, I don't know, just blanked on. I'm so used to a stick that I don't really know what I want to do with this. So I think I'm just going to pick it up on a sponge and apply it that way. My forehead is really finicky with bronzers, so this is going to be like the real test anyway of whether or not this works. Huh. Ooh, I like that. So first off, I think this shade is exactly what I would gravitate to normally, especially since we're getting into summer and I self-tan. I picked up Macchiato, and for a minute I was like freaking out about it, thinking, oh my gosh, I think I should have got Butter Biscuit. Why didn't I get Butter Biscuit? It's a shade lighter. The Butter Biscuit is a little bit lighter, but I think this is actually really working. And like I said, my forehead tends to be a little bit finicky with bronzers, and this is really applying nicely. I feel like this is very buildable. I can just tell from putting it on that it's got kind of not sheer coverage, but it's got that really buildable coverage where you put that first layer on and you can kind of feel, yes, I could, you know, keep working this up. So I am impressed. Go along my jawline with this. So as I was saying, the giveaway winner had sent me an email with, you know, showing me the goodies that she got with her prize. And that really, I mean, helped me a lot. Like, I don't know, I feel like maybe I should have told her that. I just was like, yay, and sent like some emojis. But, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to say like when something really means something to me. Does anyone else feel that way, that like someone will either do a gesture or say something to you and you don't want to be like too, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like I'm a sappy person, so I don't want to be too sappy, but honestly, like her sending me that photo kind of, I don't know, it made me feel really good. I felt like, okay, like I really made someone happy. And, you know, I talked in a video a couple weeks ago about how I always feel better when I kind of focus my energy outward. Like if I do something nice for other people, that really makes me feel better. And, you know, that was kind of an example of that, where it was just like, you know, saying that, you know, she really enjoyed that prize and, you know, was really excited about the makeup that she got, made me feel really good. Because, you know, that's, you know, it's happy when you can make someone else happy, even, you know, in a small material way. All right, so I can't believe that I was like talking and completely didn't do the cheek with the Fenty, but I used it on the rest of the face, and I mean, that's a nice, good shade. It's very creamy, blended out well. I feel like it looks really great on the nose, which the nose and the forehead for me are like the two spots that are the biggest indicators. So I did things a little out of order today. Normally I would have done this before I set my under eye, but you know, it's been a hot minute since I applied a full face of makeup, so I think I'm kind of just like, my brain's not able to go on autopilot the way that it normally does. So I need to kind of think it out a little bit further. So I'm just touching up kind of where I set my under eye. Ooh. This is I love this Hourglass powder to set the under eye. It's so beautiful. I have not found anything sets the way that this does. So I feel like I'm gonna do my brows next. I'm just using my DIOR brow styler for my brows. I found this I started using this in like my very first video, which was a full face of Wishlist first impressions. I basically bought something from each category that had been on my wish list and then tried them out. That was my very first video back before, you know, we knew what was going on with coronavirus, so that was really fun. I actually remember that coronavirus, like, it was on the news, but it wasn't like the only story yet, you know? Now it's the only story on the news. That was my first video I filmed like kind of right before that became the case. Oh, those were the days, let me tell you what. So I started using this product then and I really love it. I had actually bought it and had it on my wish list because Alana Davison. So she's completely right. It's a great product and I really love it. I feel like the way that it's shaped is just so good for giving you like realistic brow hairs, and I am not an expert at brows by any means. So if something can make my brows look good and I can use it, then you know it's user friendly, because let me tell you what, a brow expert, I am not. Alrighty, for eyes, I'm gonna use this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick. I have never tried these before, but I've heard so many good things and I love a cream shadow, so hopefully I'm gonna enjoy this. This is the color Intense Amethyst. You know, I'm going for my kind of lavender lilac moment, so this is what we're gonna try to do. So with cream sticks, for me, any kind of cream, I like to put it on and then blend it out with a brush. When I'm using like a cream that's in a pot, I will use my finger, tap it on and then blend it out. Since this one's in a stick, I'm just gonna apply it straight on. I'm gonna do it all over the lid, and then I'm gonna kind of concentrate it here to kind of, you know, go for that. I'm not really going for that fox eye look, but I just kind of want it to be kind of more than blown out, if that makes sense. I want it to go more out than it goes up. I'm using one shadow today because if you have watched my channel before, you probably know that I like to just use one shadow. I'm gonna tell you what, that is so light reflective and pretty, you guys. Like, I am really digging this. I'm going to just really kind of blow it out a little bit in the crease. I really want to keep it more concentrated going out, but I feel like just to balance it, it does need to blend up a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be going like full fox eye anytime soon. I might try it. I kind of feel like I want to try this one tutorial that I saw on it. That was from, oh my gosh, who was it? Brianna Fox. I kind of want to try her tutorial. She made it look, you know, she makes everything look easy, but she made it look pretty easy. So I felt like maybe I could do it, but we'll see. So I just put this on the lid and then I'm going to blend it like up first, and then after I've got a good blend there, I'll kind of just blend it into my crease a little bit. This is such a beautiful shade. Oh my gosh. I don't think that normally purples are shades that are suggested for blue eyes, but I feel like just because it's so light reflective, it's really making my eyes look really pretty, and I am here for it. Oh my gosh. All right, I feel really happy with that. I am going to, I think, do some eyeliner. I normally don't. I think I'm just gonna go in with a bronze. This is the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner in, literally, I think the color is bronze. Yes, the color is bronze. So I'm gonna take this on my lower lash line, and then I'm gonna blend it out with that caviar stick. I feel like I'm trying to decide if I wanna do something on my lash line. I think I do. I'm gonna take it and kind of smoke it on my lash line. Oh, I like that a lot. I'm just kind of doing like little dots because I don't want to screw tuba with those little faux lashes that I put on. So what I do is I kind of do little dots, and then I'm just gonna take the little sponge from this thing and blend them all together. I have only recently been using like dark colored liners. I usually use like a light pink or an off-white. I usually just go kind of the eye-opening route, but I don't know, I've been wanting to kind of try to expand my horizons lately. I'm just taking a little bit of this Amethyst caviar stick, and I'm going to use this to blend out. This is like my favorite pencil brush. It's a dual-ended brush that's from IT Cosmetics. It's called a smudger liner. I love IT Cosmetics brushes. I always get mine from Ulta. Let me tell you what, they make some good brushes. Like my favorite blush bronzer brush is from them, and it is such a nice brush. It's this 227. I mean, it's just such a good blush brush. I have the hardest time saying that, you guys. All right, done with that. I'm gonna throw on some mascara. All right, I'm gonna throw on this Lancome Definicils because you know what? These aren't actual lash extensions, so I have no problem messing them up because I know they're gonna fall out by the end of the evening anyway. All right, this is the purple blush that inspired my desire to have some kind of lavender monochrome going on. This is Drama Class from Fenty. This is one of the new cream blushes. Yes, they are small. That is like the first thing I really noticed was, oh, okay, this is smaller than I expected it to be. For me, I'm gonna take it on a sponge and apply it this way first. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I'm really excited about this blush. I can tell you that years ago I had this Anna Sui highlighter that had very like lavender tones to it, and I found it to be so flattering, which is odd because, you know, like I said, I'm very neutral, but what I found is like with blushes I can kind of go both ways just depending on how I'm feeling. So I can go cool or warm. This is obviously a cool tone, and I am really liking the way it looks. I like the way that it applied. I want to see, I don't feel like it pulled up any product, which is my number one thing with cream blush. I don't want to feel like it's pulling up my foundation or anything under it. This did not. I feel like it's really nice. It reminds me of the bronzer, and that I feel that it's very blendable. The first wash of color you get feels like definitely something you could, you know, layer on. I'm gonna put a little bit over my temples. I really think that's a very flattering kind of spring color. When you're using colors that are like maybe not, you know, your average kind of tones, it's like a purple, I think that everyone kind of wonders, like, is that something I could actually wear? I think this is very wearable. Like, I don't think this is something you have to be like making a statement to wear. It's a nice blush. It certainly, I mean, you can tell in the packaging and online, it looks very purple. Obviously that's not how, I mean, could you I don't know if you could build it up to be this. I really don't think you could. I don't know that you would want to. I wouldn't want to. This for me is really great. I feel like I have the tone, I have the flush, and it has that kind of cool purple tone, and it looks really pretty on. I think this is a really flattering blush, so I'm a fan. So for highlight, I'm going to use this Nudies Glow Stick from Nude Sticks. So the very first time I used this, I could tell that it had a little bit of a purple shift to it because it does have a very iridescent quality to it, and the shift is very violet, lavender, lilac. I'm just using all these words interchangeably to mean soft purple. So I really enjoyed this, and it reminded me of that Anna Sui highlighter that I was talking about that had those purple tones and was just, I mean, I loved that thing, and I had it, oh my gosh, it had to be years and years ago that I had that thing. I can't even think of when it would have came out. It's probably 20, so oh my gosh, like 10 years ago I had that thing, and it was such a flattering piece and very pretty. She makes very pretty pieces. So pieces, cosmetic, you know what I'm talking about. So this highlighter kind of reminded me of that and kind of got it on the brain. And then when I saw the Drama Class blush on Sephora, I thought, yeah, I definitely am in the mood to try to have me a lavender moment. I love this highlighter. It's just the perfect amount of tacky. That's not too tacky, but just tacky enough that, you know, it sticks. So I am a big fan of that. For lips today, I don't have a liner. I'm just going to be going in with a lipstick and a gloss. I just picked these up from Sephora recently. This is the Soft Matte Lip Color from Tom Ford. It's so tiny. I don't know who Tom Ford thinks he is with this. I mean, I guess he thinks he's Tom Ford, but definitely has a purple tone to it. So we're going to put this on to tie everything in. It's just so smooth. It's like butter. Alright, this is the DIOR Lip Maximizer Hyaluronic Lip Plumper. This is, I believe that is 9. It is shade 9. And again, it has that purple shift to it. So this is the perfect shade for this look, and my YouTube friend suggested this, so I bought it, and I really am excited to try it. Let's see here. Ooh, that feels nice. Not sticky. That's the first thing that I always notice in a lip gloss is it sticky? Is it not sticky? It is not sticky. And it just looks so wet. I love that with a gloss is just wet. That is a wet gloss. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh. You guys, I am digging this. All right, I need some setting spray. I feel like a pretty princess. Did you have that game as a kid? I loved that game. Oh my gosh. I feel like a pretty princess. I feel like this is so feminine, so pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go take pictures with my baby. Who says that? I'm gonna go take pictures of my baby because I feel cute. This is the thing about monochrome looks that I love. It reminds me of cooking. Whenever I'm cooking, if I'm making a meal, I really like to make sure that there are flavors from each component that can kind of tie together. So like if I am, making a pasta sauce and it has basil in it, I might make a cocktail that has like a hint of basil in it. Things like that where just kind of there are notes that carry through. That's like just the way to a gourmet meal. And I feel like you kind of get that same cohesion when you use colors from the same family. Even if you're not doing like, all purples, just doing all cool tones or something like that can really just make a look so just tied together. And I love how these products all worked. This foundation, I'm so excited to keep trying it. This Caviar stick from Laura Mercier, like the reflection, the light reflection is so gorgeous. The blush from Fenty and the lip, like all of these colors are just playing so pretty together that it's just, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to wear this look. I am going to definitely probably use this look again. I think that I'll use all these products together again because this just feels so feminine, so pretty, so springy. Like this to me, I feel really pretty wearing this thing. Alright, that is it for this Get Ready With Me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and go down below, click that Rafflecopter link and enter my giveaway. I'm giving away that $250 Sephora gift card. You could be the winner. It could be you. Like, look, I don't have that many subscribers. Your chances are like really good. I hope to see you in my next video. Have a great day and take care of yourself.